'cause you never know what tomorrow brings in this crazy life. Hey, this life, this life, this life.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Barber223. We're back again. So today's gonna be just a little, I don't know, kind of a give my opinion type thing. So it's gonna be about the no proc tests going on. So yesterday I made a video about pretty much is that things changed. So as you guys know, proc sets will be disabled in Cyrodiil until this fall, which is cool. That's a really good thing. So basically I'm gonna give my opinion on it and what I think so far. I've tested it out. I'm just putting like BG clips behind it, and I'm actually using my no proc build for Cyrodiil in BGs. So I'm kind of testing out if I can perform against procs with my no proc build, then I can surely perform against no procs. That's just kind of how I thought of it. So if I get toastered or dumpstered, just don't mind me. But yeah, so basically, the basis of what I'm saying today is, do I think this proc test is good or bad for ESO? So overall, I think it's good. Now, the reason there are some issues with it, and that's definitely got to be talked about, so that's what I'm going to talk about now. Now, let's start off with the good. So the good. It's really like, so like when I've been waiting for no procs for a long time. It's kind of funny to see. So I was in Cyrodiil playing with my cousin, and these people, like, we had like a 1v10 maybe, and we probably almost wiped them, and then they had a bunch of reinforcements that killed us. But it was like, it felt so good to be able to actually outnumber PvP and not worry about the same proc set hitting you from 5 different people. And when you, as many of you know, if you get hit, you can get hit with the same proc set from different people. So like, being able to not have that as an issue was so relieving, so refreshing. It just felt so good. Being able to fight and not have to, just being able to play the game and use my class the way I want to use it, it just felt so good. And even in this BGs here, like, I'm playing with no proc, so it was a bit difficult. I didn't hit super hard, but I think it was just so much more rewarding. Like, even there I got dumpstered, but it just was so much more rewarding being able to play and not rely on my procs or worry about other people's procs hitting me. So I think that's definitely good. And I would say another good thing, maybe even the most important part of all, I think ESO is going to see from this test that people just enjoy the game more with no procs. It's just the truth. The game is more balanced, it's more fun, it's just more enjoyable with no procs. I mean, like, there's people that like procs, and although I will never understand that opinion, I get it, but I just think, like, even if the numbers hypothetically don't go up in Cyrodiil, people that do play love it way more. Like, it just feels so much smoother. It just felt so nostalgic. It just felt a sense of, like, it just felt like ESO to me. So that's something I really liked. It just felt so original as, like, the old days, and the old days were the days I liked. So it just felt nice. Now, another good thing I would say is the people that do rely on procs, like, I mean, there's people that literally play, like, they've picked up ESO recently, and not even just recently, it could be older players too, but they can only play with procs. It's literally their only thing, their only way of surviving, their only way of doing damage. They just don't know how to play ESO and use the mechanics. And the good thing about the test is that these people are going to get exposed so bad. And I'm glad, because I think people need to learn to play the game the right way and this meta has allowed people to not play the right way. So I think Cyrodiil. Now that I'll get into the bad, and once I'll talk about Cyrodiil, but like just it's nice. I mean, Cyrodiil's the biggest thing in ESO, so like I get why they chose that, of course, because it's performance and all that. And they did the test for performance, which makes no sense to me. I know that's what they say they did it for, but let's think about it. Like, you didn't just do that test for performance. You knew what you were doing. Like, you made an excuse. Like, clearly this was for something else. But that's not even my point. Like, it's gonna be nice to see people that rely on procs finally get exposed and die. So that's good. I think it's going in the right direction. I think they made the right decision. Now, the fact that it's only in Cyrodiil, like, in my opinion, I think if no proc tests were to happen anywhere in ESO, I think it should have been in BGs. And the main reason I say that is because if you look at BGs, Cyrodiil, and Imperial City, BGs are by far the most toxic. And by toxic, I mean proc sets. Not even just proc sets, it's like organized groups that are all using cohesive proc sets. Like I ran into a group of wardens last night, and they were good. But like they were solid players, of course. I mean, warden's a great class, but they all used on like there were 2 magic wardens, 2 stand wardens, one was a healer, and the other 3 ran Unleash, Icy Conjure, and Winterborn. And it was just like melting us. Like I got melted in that match. So like it's like that. Like BGs are just so bleh. So I think they should have done the test in BGs. I don't know what you guys think about that. Like I would like to hear your comments. Because I think BGs, like at a smaller scale, you can like see more what impact that procs have. Like being able to see in a 4v4 v4 situation, like you can see how big of a difference procs make to where like someone's build goes from like being decent to being an absolute god. And that's just off of procs. So like if they would have done it at a smaller scale, because it's really hard to see combat in Cyrodiil, like actual combat. Like there is combat, of course, but you're not seeing the mechanics as much, and you're not seeing people really having to be adaptive. And it's not constant action. Like Cyrodiil is a bit slow at times. So I think BGs would have been a better platform. They didn't even have to do it like all BGs. They could have just done like an option. Like you could say, oh, you can either queue for proc BGs or no proc BGs. I mean, that would spread the player base a little bit thinner. But to be honest, I wouldn't mind waiting if that's the case, because I definitely think the wait would be worth not playing with procs in here, because it's just better that way. So that's my opinion on where the test should have been done. I'm gonna take what I can get, and I'm not gonna complain, because I know it could be worse. At least they're doing the test. This has been a long time coming. I mean, they already did the test, they just ended up expanding it, and for whatever reason they chose, I don't even care, because the reason is solid. I'll take it. Like, it's better than nothing. Like, the excuse they gave was kind of weak as to why they did it, but to be honest, I'm not going to get mad about it. We got to take what we can get, right? And overall, like, I am happy about what it is and what they did. I'm more, I don't know, like I'm just more like not sure what's gonna happen. I think it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Now, the other issue I was gonna get into is the fact that they messed it up. So although the test is a good thing, the test itself, the idea of doing the test is a good thing, but they butchered it. Because they said no proc or so no proc tests. So we all think of the main ones, right? Unleashed, Icy Conjure, Red Mountain, Calirians, right? We think of those types of things. But what we fail to realize is that pretty much everything in ESO is a proc. Every monster set, essentially. Except a select few that give stats or minor berserk, for example, like Slime Crawl. Pretty much everything's a condition set. Grothdar, Zon, Engine Guardian, Narianth, what else? Valken, the Balorg, everything's a condition, right? So those things don't count. Now, arena weapons don't count. So like the Master Staff is a condition, the Vatestrand Staff is a condition. So that's a little bit difficult to deal with. So even the worst, so things like apparently Silks of the Sun counts, War Maiden, Eternal Vigor, Organum Scales, so things like that. So what I think of a proc, I think that most, like the community and ZOS, their opinions of procs are very different. And that's a little bit of where the issue is, I think, because what I think personally, I don't think the issue lies in that. I don't think the issue lies in Eternal Vigor and War Maiden and set, like any set that increases stats, I don't think is an issue. Even monster sets for the most part are okay. Zon is a bit crazy, and I'm not even mad about the monster set change. I'm cool with them just like getting rid of monster sets for now until they figure it out. But I think sets like Eternal Vigor, 7th Legion, Clever Alchemist, although they're technically procs, I think they should be allowed. And that was kind of where I had an issue with the tests, because when you look at the list, things that are allowed in the test, it's literally things that are maxed stat. So Shacklebreaker, Crafty Alfiq, Impregnable Armor, what else? Agility, Endurance, Willpower, things like that, right? So anything that gives a stat, and that's it. Nothing else. Stats. Anything that gives stats, just stats. And it doesn't proc off of a condition. It's literally just flat stats. It's allowed. And there's only a few in the game. So that's my other issue, is that once you do this test, you realize how many things in the game are relying on procs. And that's kind of an issue for me. I like max stat sets. I think max stat sets are where skill gaps are. So like things like Shacklebreaker and Crafty Alfiq, if you're just giving your guys stats, that's how you see if you're better than someone, right? If every single person in the game ran Shacklebreaker and Crafty Alfiq, we'd see who's good and who's not. Because you don't have to rely on procs, you don't have to rely on conditions, you don't have to rely on Bloodspawn, you don't have to rely on Eternal Vigor. But I like Eternal Vigor. I think it's fair. I think it's a solid set, but it's not overpowered. So I think they messed up in that way. I think they should have done a bit more research and took more consideration into deciding what's a proc and what's not. I think they were a bit lazy with it. I even had a conversation with one of my viewers, one of my subs, and me and him kind of agreed that it was kind of laziness to not nitpick and cherry pick which procs are allowed and which aren't. And honestly, if you want me to sum it up as to say, oh, Barbo, what procs do you think should be in and what shouldn't? I'll sum it up by saying any proc that does damage for you shouldn't be in it. It's that simple. If it's over here doing damage, it shouldn't be in the test. Anything that gives stats or something like that, I don't mind. Like 7th Legion, Clever Alch, things like that, I don't mind it. But I do mind Hunter's Venom, and I do mind Sheer Venom. So I think in that regard they messed it up. Because now we're gonna have although I'm glad that there's still the OG sets are back, now we are gonna have no variety. So is it really a win? I mean, yeah, I think so. But the win comes from 0 to only, so no BGs, no IC, Imperial City. So I'm glad about it, but at the same time, I think they were just, especially because when you do an update that's 6 months, so this is a 6-month update, 6-month change, right? It's a long time. It's half a year. So when you think about that, like, there's gonna be no procs for a half of a year. We can't use Eternal Vigor, or I'm using Eternal Vigor as an example just because like a lot of people like it, but like we can't use that for a whole half a year. That's a long time to not be able to use sets that are like normal. So I really think they should have dug deeper and did a little bit more research as to what they think should be a proc and what's not. Because that's a long time. I like the change, I just don't like the method they use to get to that change. So honestly, I could see them reverting, not entirely, but at least allowing some more sets back in. I don't know when that'll be. And also, I know console is getting it, so that is nice. I'm happy for you console boys and girls. Hopefully that comes soon. You know, console usually takes a bit longer. Takes a long time actually, compared to the PC. So hopefully that comes soon. But I mean, overall, I can't complain too much. It's pretty chill, and I mean, overall, I'm happy. And if I wanted to sum the video up, I'd say I'm happy. But it is going to be a tough situation having to play with very limited builds. I mean, I'm going to make a build video soon because I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think you can run the same couple sets on every single build. I think there's a couple sets that are a little bit better than the rest, and it's really not that complicated. There's only so many. And you're going to have a balance here of tankiness and damage because there's no procs, so no defensive procs to save you, and you're going to have to be able to stack up your defense a bit, and I'm happy about that. It's going to be fun to do. I'm going to enjoy theory crafting and trying to maximize my build. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm definitely going to be releasing build videos soon, and honestly, like, it's exciting. It's something different. Honestly, I've been in a bit of a slump with ESO lately. I've been playing fine, like I've been performing well. It's just like I needed a change, and I just couldn't deal with it. So I like this change, although I enjoy BGs. So that's the only thing that kind of sucks for me. So I'm gonna keep playing BGs because I like it better. And then once I get tired of procs, I'll just run into Cyrodiil, mess around with that. But that's why I kind of wished they had the change also in BGs, because I like to get clips in BGs. It's a lot of fun to play small scale fights. But you know what? It's okay. We're going to take what we can get, and hopefully it all works out. That's kind of my thoughts. It's not super detailed or anything crazy. I just think there's simple things they could have done better, but there's also things that they did really well. So I'm happy that they did it. And we'll see where it goes. I mean, it's just once you take away proc sets, you see how little variety is in the game. So hopefully they see this and understand that something has to change a bit. It's a bit iffy. Even on top of it, you can't even use mythics, so you're gonna have to adjust for that. Because not using mythics, I mean, most people rely on Malakath. We're not gonna see as many heavy armor builds. And that's the thing too, like, because you can't run heavy armor and if without Malakath, you're gonna be so trash. You're not gonna do damage. So maybe light armor and medium armor will make a comeback. So that's nice. I'm happy. I'm running light armor currently, and I'm tanky, and I like it a lot. So that's something to look out for. I mean, not having Malakath is going to change things dramatically in Cyrodiil. It's going to be so much different. I'm happy. I went into Cyrodiil. I didn't even know mythics were banned at first, so I went into Cyrodiil, and I crit someone right away, and I was like, what the hell just happened? So I had to take off Malakath and fix my build. But yeah, I'm cool with the mythics. I don't mind it because heavy armor isn't going to be as viable, so that's exciting. So I guess we're going to see what happens. It looks like it's going to be fun. I'm going to keep testing it. So yeah, I just think overall they did a good job with the test itself. They just should have tweaked it a bit. So hopefully they will. We'll see. I doubt it, but you know, we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got today. It's a nice little chill Sunday for me. I got a lot of homework to do. I'm here at college right now, so I just wanted to get something out there. It's, you know, something is better than nothing. And I streamed last night, and we had a couple people asking about the tests, so I figured I'd give my opinion on it to a bigger audience. So yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. I've been loving the content, and I've been loving the support you guys give me. It's really awesome. I didn't expect. We're almost at 100 subs, guys, so if we can get there, let's do it. I mean, if we get to 100 subs, I would have crushed my goals. I didn't expect to do it this fast. I'm really blessed. I'm happy. I think this is just the beginning for us. And I say us because I think my viewers and me, we all do it together, and I love that. Like, I really consider you part of my channel. I don't consider you just viewers. I really, like, I think you guys help me. You guys comment on my videos just to show love, and that's like, dude, like that's like real stuff. Like that's being real, and I appreciate that, guys. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of it here today for Barba. I have a lot of homework, and I'm definitely gonna be playing some ESO and testing the builds. So I have a build video out soon for the proc tests. And yeah, have a good one, guys, and stay safe. And let me know what you think in the comments about the test. Yeah, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 100 subs, so once we get there, shoot, I'm gonna be so happy. So I really appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.